Your little collar seems like it's... There you go. Oh. Whoa, no. Those are going to be a lot of mouth noises.
I mean, I'm just trying to get them ready, you know, for just in case we need them. There you go.
Yeah. You know how they always like talk about Diet Coke girlies as like the people that are going to probably win the apocalypse?
I've never heard that, no.
It's like a really common thing on the internet. Like, I don't know if you've heard the internet, but...
Because Diet Coke is horrible for you, and so your stomach has been made
maybe preserved for a long time, sure.
Yeah.
Or just the fact that, like, it's that weird attitude of, like, yeah, it will probably kill me. I can't care. Like, you know, that'll be the thing in the apocalypse that, like...
Yeah, but what happens when after, like, 13 months you run out of Diet Coke?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, I would write that short film of, like, a girl just trying to get a Diet Coke.
And everyone's like, we're just trying to survive. She's like,
She's
I'm
like,
trying to get a Diet Coke.
And then it,
like, laugh track. And you're like, where's the audience?
Oh, God.
Yeah. I mean, you might survive because you can actually drink hot Diet Coke, which is the sickest thing.
I know. And look, it's something that, like, I'm sure in a New Year's resolution sometime I'm going to be like, I quit Diet Coke. And then probably my children are going to look back and be like, Mom used to drink Diet Coke. Kind of how we look back and we're like, your parents both used to smoke. And I'm like, yeah, they both used to smoke. And they're like, yeah, and we quit smoking. Yeah. Mine's going to be like, yeah, and I quit Diet Coke.
Yeah.
I'm sure of it.
And I'm going to be like still sneaking a few Diet Coke sips in. Like, get out of here. I'm hanging out with Uncle Ron.
In the garage.
Yeah.
Sneaking the Diet Coke. Yeah. They're like, oh, did you know he still sneaks
Dad
Diet Coke
drinks a lot of coffee 24/7, or at least it looks like it's in a coffee mug.
It's in a coffee mug? Yeah, it's sneaky. That's your sneaky move.
Yeah.
Sneaky beaky. Oh, hello.
Hello,
and welcome to the 5th installment of Favorite Cheese.
The 5th installment.
It feels good.
Do
you feel alive? Do you feel...
I feel alive.
Do you?
I feel like we're just taking off. Good. And we are about to hit 15,000 feet.
Wow. I don't...
Cruising altitude.
Couldn't tell you if that's good or bad, but it feels good.
Put your seatbelts on, and if you get sick at any time, too bad. Because we're moving forward.
This pilot doesn't give a shit.
It's a Ryanair pilot.
It's like, sorry if you're gonna die.
Fuck it.
Yeah, eat it.
Yeah.
It does. It feels good. We have a neighbor upstairs is watching a game.
Some sort of game. One of the sports games.
We realize this a lot because we both are not sports people, and we're like, is it a sports day? And so then we'll know by the screams upstairs or the clapping, which I've never understood, but I love it.
Well,
where it's just
I get it.
Do you clap?
Well, I don't watch sports very often except for the big game, whatever it is.
What is the big game?
Well, for different ones, they have different ones. You know, for bowling, it's the Super Bowl.
And
for football, it's the Super Bowl. And for the cooking, it's the Super Bowl. And so those are the ones I watch.
So we assume that there's a pretty big Super Bowl
I hear there's a Dust Bowl, but that sounds disgusting.
Sounds gross.
I don't want to eat that.
No, thanks.
No, but like the World Series, I'll watch that one, or the Super Bowl, or I guess it was the World Cup recently.
I've heard of that. Yes, I have.
That just happened.
That feels good. Did we win a cup?
Argentina won.
No, we didn't win a cup.
We didn't. We got closer than we should have, maybe, but we didn't get any cup.
There's a Tri-Wizard Cup. That's a really big deal.
Yeah, but that's not of this world.
Okay.
And also not of that world.
No.
Okay, no, they're getting hot upstairs.
They're getting hot.
It's like that. Yeah, it's okay. If you hear it, welcome to the world. We're world building.
Yeah, it is like a very apartment building world. It is world building, isn't it?
Yeah.
It feels good. And I'm going to dive into my fondue of the week because mine is part of the world building.
Please hop in.
Element of it, if that's okay with you.
I would love for you to start. Yeah. Dip your morsel into that melted cheese and pull it out and give us a taste.
Morsel. Dip your morsel. Yeah. Oh, does it feel dirty? Dip your morsel?
It doesn't. It doesn't.
No.
Fondue.
Dip your morsel.
Yeah.
Okay, my fondue this week is is an adding of a new character into my life. You know that I often consider my life a sitcom because it's fun that way.
And you're a crazy person who hears music 24/7.
24/7. That's true, actually. Drinking a Diet Coke.
Getting the mail and drinking
and I'm just chastising all the people around me.
Ooh, a dog.
People do. Hey, that's exactly.
Yeah.
No, but I do like tease a lot where it's like, oh, you know, the B characters and the A characters, and then I'll like tease about my B storyline of the day because I'm crazy.
Yeah.
But we had a new person enter.
New character unlocked.
Yeah. This week has been probably particularly hard for a lot of people with mail because the mail's crazy during Christmas time and the holidays, and because they say it goes up like 400% or whatever. Because think about it, it's like everyone's sending cards and packages and this and that and
the
this
cards.
and that. I love the cards.
Oh, you do? Okay.
I do love the cards.
That's okay.
Is that
we
weird?
Don't need to well, for me, it's always like I'm sure I would love the cards if the people sending me the cards were the people that I wanted to see.
You don't want to. I want to see them.
Some of them are good, but it's always like my orthodontist or like, you know,
That's true.
Carol,
like,
someone from who I grew up with. How did they get my new address? My parents must have given it to them. And here's the family of someone I never hung out with, maybe once.
Never even met him.
Yeah.
Never even met him. I love seeing it because I love it when it's people I've never met because then I like to see the progress growing up through. And they're like, oh, wow, he's 4 now. And I'm like, never even. All right. Was not aware. But
or like the journey of. Because my mom never throws away the cards.
Yeah.
So to go through it and be like, she's gone now, not dead. She broke up with him. Yeah. And, you know, and it's
not
like.
gone, just gone.
You know. Not in the picture, as you would say.
She's
Is that where that comes from? I think they're not in the picture anymore.
She's no longer
like,
in
literally,
the
what happened? Not in the picture anymore.
Yeah.
Whoa.
That's it.
Whoa.
You found out. You did it.
I love when that happens. When
too.
it's like, I've used a saying a million times, and then you're like, oh, saw where that came from.
That's where that is. She's no longer in the picture.
Wow.
That's the truth. No, I like them because it makes me happy. I'm always like, this is so much fun, and I get to see all the different things. Also, I think Christmas cards in general are such a weird, like, people are on their best behavior, and you're like,
oh yeah,
no, that's not who you are. Like, I watched you drop acid.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, even my parents, like, recently they do a Christmas card, and I didn't even realize
have notes.
this. Yeah, but normally, like, the dog is bigger than anyone.
The dog is bigger than everyone.
Yeah,
everyone gets this tiny little photo, and then the dog is like 2/3 of the picture.
I guess we're not cool
every
enough.
year, and I'm like, why is
He's
this
a gorgeous dog?
He's a beautiful dog.
No, but I think also what's weird about it is like we sent him a picture. That was a fine picture, but like we've been really busy, you know, editing and doing this podcast and doing other stuff. So when my dad's like, give us a picture, it's like, here's a picture. It's a nice picture. And then silence. And then, don't you want a nice picture of you traveling the world and doing all that? And I'm like, I don't.
This is not my card.
Yeah.
I don't care.
But then I realized like why he's asking for that. He's like, well, I didn't go anywhere, so I want to look interesting. My kid and his wife are in Ireland.
Wow,
my daughter is also traveling abroad.
That's what it is. It's like they just don't. Yeah,
I get it.
But
I'd rather see that Christmas card because we were in Hawaii last year. I see the narrative they're building.
Oh, that's nice.
On the credit
you're right.
Or on
We're
the
world
card.
travelers.
Yeah, that's what they're building.
Next year we should be slaying a dragon or something.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Like riding a dragon.
We always do our like cards that are crazy, but that's just for us, and you know you can just download those. I'm not sending them out, you know.
No.
But that's always my favorite. Is like, I love the families that are just like they're just not.
Terrell has a gerbil this year.
Can I actually? Do you mind if I hijack this a little bit now that we're on the card and then we'll come back?
Yeah. Okay.
Something that I camembert, and this just came to me because this wasn't even written down.
Good for you.
I don't even know if I'm ready to talk about this.
Well, you're gonna be sassy, or you're gonna be?
I'm not sassy. I'm just not ready.
You're ready. Okay.
Long story short. I don't know if you know my side hustle is that I do like photography and a lot of Photoshop.
Yeah, you do.
So whenever
you're a very good photographer. I feel like if people knew how good of a photographer you were, they would have like a weird, crazy blow up. But you just kind of do it for fun.
Enjoy it, yeah.
You enjoy it, yeah.
A prosumer, if you will, even though like not a consumer, not
okay, that's great.
Yeah. I'm in the middle. Like I do, anyways. So I'm always asked to like do the Christmas card, or I kind of like offer to do it, and then and other stuff, and take headshots and stuff. And you know, it's not easy, but it's not hard. I enjoy doing it. This year, I took the family picture, and it was like a selfie because I just brought my camera. I wasn't expecting to take the picture, and then everyone's kind of like, "He has a camera."
You literally just brought your camera because you were like, "Oh, I want to try out this new nice camera that I got."
Yeah. And
that was it.
It was hilarious because then they're just like lining up, and then it's like, I guess we're shooting this photo now.
Everyone's like, get our picture too now.
And I'm like, okay, well, I don't have like a tripod, so this thing's like sitting on the edge of a koi pond rock, and I'm like, so everyone needs it, and they're like, we're doing it this way, and I'm like, okay, anyways, I can't corral my family.
The whole family hijacked the situation.
Yeah. So long story short, the picture comes out, and everyone's actually good, but for some reason, my dad is like behind.
He's tucked away. No one can see him.
He's just tucked in. So it's a lot of work. And then I realized, and I'm like, it's too late. I don't want to set this whole thing up.
No one's going to gather everyone again and be like.
But my mom's like, we got to get them all back. Your dad is going to be in this picture. And I was like, you know what?
What is this for?
Not just that, but I was like, I don't have time for this. I was like, I'll just Photoshop him in. And they're like, why? And my dad's like, you can do that. And so I was like, get back on that ledge, just you.
It was just him where there was normally 9 people.
Yeah.
Then it was just
so I moved him over. I took some solo pictures, which is really funny because I know if I just said, hey, Dad, stand there and smile, he would not do it. He'd give me some weird, goofy face, or he'd feel awkward about it, a million questions. But when he understood, oh, you're going to Photoshop me in, he just stood there.
Which is what I think the holiday card should be.
I know. I think the holiday card should just be him standing there just like beaming by himself. Because I know if he saw it, he'd be horrified. But he just knew I was going to put him with like 9 other people.
Of course.
So part of me wants, but anyways, I Photoshopped him in. Looks fantastic.
Yeah, looks great.
Everyone's
looks
like,
no one would ever know.
My sister now texts me, can you do this on someone's like, I don't know if I'm about to get into the Photoshop holiday card game.
Do you think so?
But people are coming in, and I just want you guys to know Photoshop is amazing, but it's also really, really creepy because this isn't the first time I've had to do this. So I can't even bear that people are finding out how good I am.
Because now they're like adding you to change baby faces on things.
Yeah. So like
they're like, can you get rid of this fence?
Recently, someone passed away, and
in your family.
Yeah, and they were kind of known as like not the biggest smilers, and we couldn't find a common picture of them, or I'm sorry, an updated photo of them for the funeral, because the last one that was taken was at our wedding, and this person was like
having the time of their life.
Yeah,
but
time of their life, but
very angry.
Where my family's from in Friesland.
I also think it might be a generational thing because I look at like photos of like family things and I'm like, were any of these people having a good time?
Best time ever.
And you're like, cool.
Yeah. So
tell your face.
So he's not having a good time in this photo, but my mom's like, you're good at the Photoshop.
Just Photoshop a smile on it.
And I'm like, excuse me? You want me to do what? And then she's like, just a little, not a whole, just
because every single funeral photo was him just looking as miserable as the day is long.
So, I mean, what a better time to look really happy than at your funeral.
Yeah.
Instead of like, dang, that should be the time.
Cheddar, at my funeral, I need you to have me I need it to all be very sexy photos. Do you understand?
Yes, okay.
I want it to be like, and then if everyone's like, what's going on?
God.
You just say, like, this is what she wanted.
This is what she wanted.
She wanted her nudes leaked.
Everyone's like, I guess she was very, oh, wow.
Okay.
Are these current? Yeah. Yeah, not even like when you were the hottest, but like the current. No.
I want the current ones.
Oh, God.
Every year we're gonna do one, and I want it to be like
same pose.
My
and
funeral nudes.
Oh God,
please.
I've been waiting just in case insurance. I'm doing funeral nudes. No, so I sadly agree to do this for some reason. That I'm gonna put a smile on my great uncle's face, possibly, and I Google how to Photoshop a smile naturally onto someone's face, and sickly, it came up quick, and they're like, there's this new filter called neural filter. No. And I'm like, okay, so I just click it, and it like finds a face, and it goes, okay, and there's a sad face on one side, a medium in the middle, and then a happy face, and however much you drag it, it's like, this is sad, and then it goes
just a tiny bit up, tiny bit up, tiny bit up, and then it
adds like teeth at us, and it's like Joker by the end. So I like did a few, and my mom's like, great, it worked out, and it actually looked kind of legit. So she takes it and goes with it, and I'm kind of having like an existential crisis because I'm like, well, that wasn't the real photo.
Him. That
but
wasn't
also,
who he
who cares?
is. Yeah.
But it also kind of looks good, so whatever. But everyone's coming up and like, what? A great photo. I've
never seen a photo of him like that.
Where did you find this? I've never even seen it.
What a beautiful photo of him.
And my mom's like, you don't tell anyway. And I'm
now you're telling the world.
I know.
Everyone was like, can I get that photo? It's so, I've never seen him smile like that. And you were like, neither.
I created it in a lab. Yeah.
It's so dark too to think about him. Just like truly, you're like, you know, all of it is like, there it is.
That's
just a
Photoshop.
You would do it. Now is your side hustle of just adding weird things in and taking weird things out.
I know. And it's funny about you saying about your funeral because I got my own list of things for
your
my
list
funeral.
of your funeral.
But we can go through that at another time.
Look, I will say this. This is my favorite thing that Delman wants at his funeral. And I know that everyone...
No, let me...
Why
don't you tell him the whole thing? Don't just give him a little morsel.
No, I'm going to give him a morsel of it. Because literally, I think a lot of people might think this is a dark conversation of like funeral. But I really think that everyone should have that conversation of like, what do you want at your funeral? Not only have I had to go through like so many weird funerals where everyone was like, I don't freaking know. But it's like a lot of work for the family. So you might as well make it as succinct as possible. The only difficulty is that like I have Delman telling me what he wants at his funeral in case something horrible happens, and it's all bits.
Well,
and it's all
I've been to a lot of funerals.
Sure, same.
Because of the bagpipes, and bagpipes put the fun in funeral. That's what we used to say.
Oh my God. You've played a lot of...
Okay, side tangent.
No,
I'm on a
you've already tangented all of the sides.
This is like 5.
No, you're
we'll
done.
We'll come right back.
Nope.
I'm in a bagpipe group, and literally, it's for sheet music.
Hold on. Let that sink in.
Stinking?
Let that stink in.
So I'm in a bagpipe group.
No, don't. It's too sexy. Stop.
Yeah. Oh, bagpipers do it with amazing grace.
That's
So in this bagpipe sheet music group, literally someone's like, hey, anyone have any good sheet music for a young boy's funeral? And instead of like being really sad, people are like, Danny Boy, and they're like throwing in.
Everyone knew. Everyone's like, got it.
They're just so desensitized to it at this point. So anyways, my funeral, I'm desensitized. I want it to be a good time.
You want it to be a good time. You want it to be like a party. Delman wants... I want
a roast.
You want a roast.
I want my friends to roast me.
No, which isn't going to... We're all going to be so devastated.
That'll be the best
and then you're going to
part.
want us to get up there and be like...
I made it longer than you...
This guy...
Dude, why did you...
The only thing Delman loved more than a good deal was...
But the best part is every year I'm planning on recording like my retorts of what I think people are gonna say.
No, you're not.
So even if they don't say anything,
could you imagine them being so hurt and not actually doing it, and then you just being like, "Look, you piece of shit."
Yeah. You think you're better than me because delete if this person didn't last longer than me. Yeah,
if these people are out of the picture, get them the fuck out of here.
Yeah, exactly.
This is insane. No, and then you want a roast, which is what you've said.
We start with the roast.
Start with the roast, which is going to be very uncomfortable.
Then
but
when
I'll
we
do
need,
it.
then at the end we're gonna have.
Then you want a 6th grade.
7th grade.
You want a 7th grade jazz band.
Yeah.
to play.
Yeah.
What was it?
Well, ideally, it would either be like a jazz version of like a 007, like theme song. And there has
to. It's just your funeral, and it's like.
Yeah, it's bad. It's not in tune. And everyone's like. And then
at a funeral, like why?
And there has to be. Well, they need the practice, and I was in junior high jazz band, and I demand a trombone solo.
No.
Yeah.
Like at you for everyone's just weeping, and you're like.
I am hoping at this point they're uncontrollably laughing. Like I'm hoping that it's so cringy that they want to be lying, but they're like, this guy went through all this and
to get a 7th grade jazz
because they know
band.
that I'm wherever laughing going.
Do you want them to? Can
hilarious.
I have them play 007 and then Danny Boy, like for the people that want to weep?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then you're gonna have to ask the 7th grade jazz band to,
you know what?
On a whim.
Ayala High School from Rancho Cucamonga or whoever we get to do this.
God.
Upland High School maybe. whatever you're playing that season, just bring it, you know?
No, because it's going to be something.
We did Aladdin my year.
Yeah, so that's going to be great.
I can show you the world. And everyone's like, yeah.
Honk, 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 honk,
I wanted to not, but kind of like, did he choose the songs too? like I don't know why Michael Jackson's Beat It. And then, honk, 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 honk. Yeah. That would be so good.
At your funeral.
Well, like my pictures are kind of in the back.
While your in memoriam is up there.
Yeah, I think this would be great.
Honestly.
And hopefully someone will get so overwhelmed that they'll pay homage to me and have a panic attack halfway in their solo and just stand there, and it'll be great.
They're going to feel so, it's like, come on, everyone, we're playing a funeral today. He was a jazz band enthusiast, a 7th grade jazz band enthusiast. Because you said, you're like, they can't be too good.
No,
you were like,
that'd just be weird.
Yeah.
It has to be bad.
No,
it has to be really
honk, honk,
bad.
Honk, Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Honk, 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 honk.
Too early.
as your family photos are up on
yeah. That I've edited the faces into like half of them. Yeah, God, this is gonna be a great time.
Yeah, I feel bad just
I think we should serve Costco hot dogs.
This sounds like a cool party.
That's what I'm trying to get.
Okay, well, I don't want you to die, but it's going to be cool when you do. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm still going to be
And there will be a VIP list, of course.
Oh, my God. You can't have a VIP list at your funeral.
Oh. All right, we'll work out the details.
What would be the thing? You'd be like, come into the green room?
No. I'd have some people like get good seats, and I want to like kind of like...
Delman, you're not going to be there.
But you'll know I was there. You'll know I was very heavy-handed. Hear me out.
Do we think that we should pull a prank just so you can have this?
If I could Tom Sawyer it?
Yeah, if you could Tom Sawyer it.
I mean, that was always my dream as a kid to like Tom Sawyer it. And then, you know, maybe I like rise out of it at the end.
I don't think that's... I think that might be...
Well, I was into magic when I kind of was coming up.
I think a lot of
people... So the
whole
goal was like me to kind of... Got you all. This was the greatest trick I rose from the grave.
I think people would be kind of pissed if they had to cry, listen to a jazz band, and then you were like, ha ha, gotcha. Zing.
April
Bagadoo. Yeah, it's too but I love it, and I'll write it down because honestly, here's what I'm worried about. I'm worried that people are gonna think I'm a fucking lunatic if you did pass, and then I was like, here's what he wanted.
If they knew me enough, they'd be like,
yeah, that is what he wanted. Well, at least now it's on camera, and so there's
and
proof.
That's as good as gold.
That's as good as gold. Yeah, that's what you got it. Yeah. Okay, great.
So thank you for letting me tangent. But can we get back to what you're fond of? You met a new side character.
I met a new side character, where I've decided that he's a new side character.
I think he's a side character.
He's a side character. He's great.
A great one.
We have so we've had issues with our mail. Like we have a group text thread in our neighborhood. In our apartment. We have a group
building.
Our group text thread in our building, and I think that's really lovely because I don't know many people that do. Like we all get along so well. Yeah. It's a pretty small building, so there's not like a crazy amount of tenants. Yeah. But we all like really genuinely like each other, and we're all very like good and kind. It's like, you know, you'll grab a package if someone's out of town. You'll like, you know,
I made bread for one of the neighbors. They made us lasagna.
Exactly. It's like, you know, someone needs parchment paper. You go and you grab it. It's like a very sweet and very like community. But we have a group text thread, and we started texting each other being like, hey, is anyone noticing that they're not getting their mail? And you chalk it up to like Christmas season, and
our mailman... you were kind of leaving out like, we already know this guy. The whole building loves this guy.
The whole building loves the mailman.
He like whistles around. We wave at him. It's kind
like
of a whole thing.
It feels like 1950s shit where it's like you know each other. You're like friends. I lovingly call him Hot Mailman because
and so do I.
Yeah, he's gorgeous.
He's a hot guy.
He's a hot guy.
He's a hottie with a body.
He is a hottie with a body.
Yeah, and I mean that uniform fits him.
It's unreal. Like if someone was like, oh, I sent a male stripper as opposed to
because the first time I saw him, I'm like, come on in.
What is this?
Just
show us what you got. We'll
He's
tip you
delivering
well.
a package.
No, but truly, he's like stunning. He's model on the side, just like a Babelish. And so I always call him Hot Mail Guy. And then we started noticing.
He's very good at his job.
He's incredibly good at his job. And so we started noticing our mail was gone, and we were like, what's going on?
And then we started noticing that Hot Mail mailman wasn't coming around.
Yeah. We're like, oh no, hot mailman's gone. And then it was a genuine like, what do we think is wrong?
Is he on vacation? Is he dead?
People wrote, like 3 of our other tenants wrote to the mail people and were like, hey, we're not getting our mail. Like, is he okay? Like, we don't need
our mail, but like, how is hot mailman?
But like, truly, is hot mail guy okay?
And he's a nice guy. Like on the hot days, we would give him like drinks.
Let's give him drinks and
he
food.
He always like goes out of his way to wave at us. He's like just like a super sweet, awesome guy.
And then finally someone got down. Someone called. Someone was like, and was like, hey, good news.
They're like, he's on vacation. He's fine. We're like, and they're like, you're not the only ones.
No.
Like, apparently all of West Hollywood has been calling.
Apparently all of West Hollywood was like, hey, what's the deal?
And
my
God. Give him a raise.
Yeah. And we're like, this guy's the guy. Never let him go away. So what we were noticing is that I was like, oh no, like he's so much deeply rooted into our world that like now.
Or it'd be like Mr. Rogers.
Yeah, it's like a Mr. Rogers situation where now I'm like, oh yeah, he would absolutely come over, stop by, have a coffee.
Yeah.
And now I'm in the zone where I'm like, if this was like, you know, a television, like one of our friends has to date him. Like he's tested very well in the Nielsen, in the world of the Nielsen rating.
I don't have any friends good enough for this man.
Oh my God.
He's a full package, if you will.
I've not.
I
cannot. That's enough.
First class delivery.
Wow.
He
is actually.
He's a first class male.
He is a first class male. Yeah. He is a first. But again.
It's my stamp of approval.
We get it, man. You have to stop.
He has my address.
That's the last one.
Yeah, that wasn't good. We'll edit that one out.
No. But I did realize, I was like, oh no, he's tested so well among everyone. He's going to be that character that comes in and is just like, oh, just a little side thing.
I hope that we see him one day on like America's Next Top Model or something, and then they ask, because he's a very timid man.
You hope that they bring back America's Next Top Model.
Oh, sure. Or whatever. Okay, I didn't realize that wasn't part of the zeitgeist.
For years,
I don't watch TV.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay, I hope that he gets discovered on hit reality show where that is the hit one.
I think we're gonna see him on
Love
some
Island
like
or something.
Prada like billboard. We're gonna be like, hey, is that our mailman?
I want to see him talk. Yeah, is that our mailman? And then he's like, one day I was just delivering mail and casting director just pulled me in.
I believe really that. Weird. You know those crazy stories of just like, that was in an ice cream
Diaz
shop.
Was like, I was at the mall.
Yeah. Yeah. Chrissy Teigen was like, I was selling surfboards. And it's like, of course, that's going to be him. He's going to be like, I was delivering mail. And then someone stopped me on the street.
I was crying at Arby's and they asked me to leave.
Are you okay? And I said, how can you help me?
And they're like, we're closed. You have to go. Anyways.
I was bawling in an Arby's.
Yeah.
And they grabbed me and they said, you have something.
You have something. Can you cry in command? I'm like, I cry all the time.
That's it. But I do love the new character unlocked. In the second season, boy, Mailman's coming back. We got to have him date someone.
What happens, though, when our friend accidentally breaks Mailman's heart?
I'm not gonna.
And he holds our mail captive and then...
Oh, maybe.
Or we're like on his side.
Yeah.
Like, listen,
we're like, hey, and they're like 20 years of friendship and we're like down the drain because Mailman was a good guy.
Yeah, don't go postal or anything.
Delman, I said that was
That was a different one. That wasn't a hit on. That was still a pun, but it was a different. It was him going crazy.
Mailman, look, I'm just saying.
I would invite him in. I would invite him.
Yeah. Whoa.
Not sexually, but he could hang out on the couch.
That's what a throuple is, Delman. It's not just a hang out on a couch. That's a friend.
I need to make some calls. I kept telling my, hey, we could be a throuple. I'll come on. I'll come hang out. I think I meant third wheel.
Yes. Yes, you
But I feel like a third wheel is more important to keep the tricycle going.
You've got to look up words, my guy.
I miss a lot of good stuff.
Yeah,
I've said a lot of bad things on accident. And then high-fived a lot of
That's
people.
That's an oopsie.
Yeah, that's a whoopsie daisy. Anyways. Speaking of old characters, not a lot to unlock with Shania. She's been laying low.
Yeah, she has.
I think she's been working a lot.
That's not true, because at 5 a.m. the other night, she was talking really loudly out of her kitchen window about spirituality. So we know that she's alive.
But Shania's on pause. Right
on pause.
Now.
Yeah.
But I have a new character to unlock as well. I was really sad that Colin left.
Has he accepted your Instagram friend request
He
yet?
just doesn't go on there that much. And when he goes on, he will. He hasn't posted anything. He hasn't really been around. And there's a lot of guys with his name, and I've looked.
Just Colin. Just
Colin. A lot of Collins in the physical therapist world.
Sure.
They're all named
Colin Physical Therapy.
They're all kind of named Colin.
Yeah.
But I have a new character.
Okay.
I recently went into our dentist, and I've had to spend a lot of time in the old dentist chair because I had braces from the time I was in 5th grade until the time I was 21 years old without much of a gap.
Long time to have braces.
Yeah, I used to have the curly mullet, or the cullet as they called it. Had the braces.
This kid just sounds hot. This kid is
now this kid would be hot. Back then it wasn't
no.
cool. Now that guy knows what's up. There was a time in my life because
Sure.
you know, my family's the Jewish family that wasn't in the entertainment industry, so we had to have
we're the ones.
We're the ones.
We're the ones.
So there was a time in my life when my parents were like, well, what are you going to be? You got to be something, you know, legit. And so for some reason I was like, a dentist, I could do that.
You wanted to be a dentist when you were a kid?
Yeah, I just kind of had this feeling like I could do that. I'm there all the time. I don't mind it. I think, you know, it's a good job.
So I'm there all the time.
Yeah.
I don't hate it.
I don't hate it.
Sure.
Yeah. You know, dentists always try and kind of be funny, but it doesn't work.
Yeah, it feels like a really good...
Because they have to. They can't respond, so it's great.
Yeah.
It's a great way to captivate your audience.
You're literally captivating them.
Yeah.
You're like, you can't move.
Yeah.
Listen
and
to my
jokes. Laughing gas
jokes.
if you don't like. So
That's
that was
great.
a great backup.
Yeah, of course. Good plan.
Great plan. So anyways, I decided once I got old enough, you know what, maybe the dental thing's not going to work for me. I'm going to move on.
Sure.
I'm going to try in comedy and fall back on dentistry when I'm
Yeah,
like
that's
40.
an easy fallback plan,
Yeah.
right? Just a full medical career. Yeah.
We're in the dentist's office and it's playing Christmas music.
Yeah.
And she kind of like, we know, you know, when the person's part of the tribe.
Sure.
And so she's like, is this kind of weird? I'm like, yeah, this kind of sucks a little bit. And she's like, right? She's like, these songs suck. And I'm like, hell yeah. Like, we're bonding.
Yes.
And I'm in there for like, to get some filling. So we got like drill sounds.
Yeah.
We got numbing. We got the whole thing.
It's the same thing of like, again, if it's like really happy music and like the worst stuff is
yeah,
going on.
exactly.
Like,
for some reason, whoever put on this mix just put on Christmas.
I will say, Christmas playlists are very essential.
Yeah.
You have to like
Gotta have a good
there's
one.
a vibe, there's an
Yeah.
energy. You can go classic, but to bounce around from freaking like Ariana Grande to like Burl
It's
Ives,
all over the map. We can't do that.
You
No
can't
one's
do
even.
that.
That's psychotic.
It's
we gotta
crazy.
pick our time period. So somehow, this theme song to Home Alone comes on, and I'm like on my back, and
Is
they're
it like John Williams, like the dun dun dun?
Yeah,
dun,
and they're just like,
dun,
and I'm like, and they have the mask on. It's like, dun, 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 and I'm like, and I feel like they're like,
just
rock,
like,
yeah, and you can't say it. And then like also they're also having that like, she's like, I don't like this song. She's like, it's too slow. And I'm like, and then the lady's like, I think it's from The Grinch. And I'm like, and I'm like trying. I'm like, no,
Isn't that the worst?
And then they're like, what did he say? I don't know.
John Williams.
But anyways, someone in our last video was like, either Delman's hands are ridiculously big or Lee's are ridiculously small, and you'd be right on both of those.
You
things.
would be right on both of those
and
things.
I did realize, like, oh, I couldn't be a dentist because my mitts are too
show
big.
him your mitts. Delman has, for those that can't see this or are not watching it, Delman has a size 13 wedding ring. When we went to a jeweler to be like, oh, wonder if they can make him a ring, they like saw his hands and they immediately were like, cha-ching. They were like, you want gold?
Yeah.
And it was a very like, oh my God.
Yeah.
So it's a very like, here, look at that.
But I just love the idea of like me trying to be a dentist being like, open your mouth. And then I'm like, I could barely like me trying to reach something on the side of a seat. Or like you being a short person, you're constantly asking me to grab things.
100%.
I'm also asking you to grab things because I'm like, I can't fit my hand. And like, it's like a vase. And you're like, you have two hands.
You've broken at least like 10 of our glasses washing dishes because of your big paws. And
so I am sad to find out that I can't be a dentist and I won't be a dentist. So
I'm going to dive into my camembert.
Please do.
It'll be, I realized this week that I am getting old. We were like, let's go out to dinner. We called this amazing place by us called Night Market, which is like this Thai fusion. It's been written up in all the write-ups.
It's very, very tasty
very
food.
tasty
very
food.
Hip audience.
So hip.
Like people that are dressed up in things where you're like, is that cool or not cool?
I don't know.
It doesn't feel cool to me, but I think it's cool.
I didn't know
just
I
from the
wanted a
attitude.
duct tape vest till now,
Yeah,
but I
yeah.
guess I do.
Well, hold on. I have my seatbelt belt. It's at home. I'm going to go get it. I'll be right back.
Wait, you still
My zebra
do,
vest.
You still do have your seatbelt belt.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
Someday it'll come back and it'll be crushing it, baby. So we were like, oh, we'll do a reservation. We got a reservation. It was like 8:15. We both were like,
we should probably do a reservation.
Is that late?
Yeah.
And so we kind of were
And it
both
was a
like,
Friday night.
that's what it
Yeah.
was. So we both were like, we're gonna go out, yada yada
We
yada.
were very excited.
We were so excited.
Yeah.
And then we got there and we did remember that it was a Friday night.
Yeah.
And it was like fully the most loud, like, and it was like so like,
and not even Christmas music.
No,
like
no
they
Christmas,
had no idea.
No, nothing. It was like intense.
It was a night market.
Club,
Yeah,
it was a night market. It was
Yeah.
this intense club music. Both of us kind of looked at each
I
other
felt
like,
I was at Burning Man.
oh,
yeah.
it felt like Burning
Yeah,
Man,
yeah.
where you're just sort of like, my brain is
Ba-na-na-na-na.
literally,
Na-na-na-na-na. You're like, na-na-na-na.
and it was like brain numbingly
Yeah.
loud, and I was just like, oh my god, wait, is this? Because we went there before the pandemic.
We literally went there, like that was our last like really nice kind of date spot before we went into the pandemic. Jamie Foxx was there.
Oh my god, Jamie Foxx was there.
Jim Rash, the principal from Community was there. We were like, oh my god, this place is hot.
But mainly Jamie Foxx was there.
Yeah, it was a big deal.
It was a really cool deal, and but it was like chill, good vibes, great energy, amazing food. So we were like, let's go back. Then we went back, and it truly had turned into just like exactly that, like Burning Man madness, where you're like, I can't think straight. It's so loud.
Yeah.
I was like, we have a reservation at 8:15. They were like, what?
Why don't you grab a drink?
I'm like,
what?
8:15.
What's your name?
Lee. And it's
Jerry?
just Lee.
Mark?
It was, I'm not kidding. We had to tell him 3 times what the name was, what time the reservation was. And then he was like, grab a drink. It'll be about 40 minutes. And we both were like,
the reservation. He's like, I don't know.
And like you'd pointed out that this guy was like no shirt, but a beanie.
Yeah.
And it felt like a
No, I think he
bit.
was hip. I think like this might be cool, but
You're
for
right.
me, I'm looking at him and I'm like, what is this
we were
bad sketch comedian?
it
like,
did. Yeah, if you were to put it in a sketch, someone would be like, "Hey, that's too
a little
far."
too on the
no
nose.
one dresses like that. It was like a zebra open vest with his chest
I'm
open.
sure he's a nice guy, but he was older than me. So
Yes.
you would expect that he wouldn't know the trends.
The trends, the hot trends.
Yeah, but it almost felt like he just kind of like, if I just throw this on,
100%.
they're gonna be like,
that's pretty good.
Pretty
Again,
good.
open, no shirt at a restaurant, which I thought was a very interesting choice.
It's all right. I don't
And
work
then-
for the health inspector, but I could.
So from the get-go, we both were like, this is different. This is new and different.
I was just
than-
excited to be out, but
Totally.
you were definitely
I was not feeling it. And then we finally get sat, and it still is the loudest I've ever heard anything. And I've been to concerts that weren't this loud. It was truly insane.
Yeah.
Then we got sat down. We're like, we can't do anything about it. Let's just have a good time.
Yeah.
And I was sitting there just like losing my mind at how loud it was. The waitress came up to take our order, and 3 times once again I was like, we'll take this, and she was like, ah, and I was like, this one. She's like, what? And then I was just pointing, and she was like thumbs upping, and then I was like, I don't remember it being this loud, and she's like, it's too loud.
Yeah.
And she just goes back.
She even didn't get the whole order.
She didn't even get the whole order. She'd forgotten something in the order because she like didn't hear it.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I'm losing my mind. I'm getting too old for this. Maybe I'm too old. And then I look at the table on the left, and the guy literally has his fingers in his ears as he's like trying to scream at his boyfriend. And we both were like, okay. And then we just, the food came. And what I will say is that it was phenomenal food.
Yeah.
It's such good food that we both were like, I guess it's fine that we're being like sound tortured as we like sat in silence to each other where we didn't speak at all. We just like hammered food in. Yeah. And then it was so loud as it was just like screamingly loud. And we're just like quiet. We both looked at each other. We like did like thumbs up. We would like point at food and be like, this was good. And you'd be like, top notch.
Take your picture.
Take a picture of how good this food is.
We're not too old though. We definitely were like, we'll come back on a Wednesday.
That's exactly it. We both were like, this is a midweek place. This is the middle of the
Hollywood.
Week. We're no longer going to be coming out on the weekend.
No.
But I just realized that I was like, oh no, is it? I worry that I get like in the, like we went to a bar recently and it was so loud too that I again was like in the bathroom and I was like, oh, this is nice. What is this? Silence? And I had a really...
for me, I want to hang out with my friends again. I haven't seen them in a long time. So it's like recently one of my friends that was one of my roommates. I love this guy.
Yeah.
He was like, hey, dude, I'd love to hang out. Let's go see a movie. And I'm like, not hanging out.
That's
like,
not it. I can watch a movie at home.
Yeah. I'd love to just talk to you about stuff.
If you want to do
some like a book report, like I'll watch the movie before we hang out. We can talk about it, but I don't want to watch it with you.
Hey, let's watch it before we get together. We can catch up on the ideas.
While you're driving down here, I can do that because I want to maximize hangout time. I want to talk to you, I want to laugh. I don't want to be like, hey, let's go to a really loud place
and just scream at each other. Yeah. And then also, like, you can't get, maybe that's it. I'm like, you can't get like crazy deep because it's so loud that you're just like, you good? And it's like, I'm good. You? And you're like, I'm all right. I don't even mind like a little bit. Obviously, like it's necessary. But this in particular was truly the loudest I'd ever heard. We left and I even said, like, as we were leaving, I was like, my ears are ringing. Yeah. Like my ears were ringing. Yeah. It got to that point. And then I was like, oh no, am I going to be the crazy lady that it's like, went here, wanted to have a good time. Like I'm going to write a little
Food,
Yelp review.
Good. Music
too negative.
Yeah.
Negative 10. Food 10. Yeah. Music negative 10. Like I'm at that age. I don't know what Yelp review age that is, but
well,
I'm like,
the fact that you're still using Yelp, I think shows your age. So don't worry about that.
That is the truth, right?
Yeah.
You're like,
no one's using Yelp anymore. You're still stuck.
Look, man, I'm just saying for this review, I'm going on Yelp, baby, and I'm gonna say the food was great. The atmosphere left a lot to be desired. That's it. I camembert that I'm getting too old to go out on a Friday night to a very hip restaurant because it is, in fact, too loud.
I feel like it's more of a baller move if you can go on the weekdays.
Oh, my God.
It's like, oh, my gosh, this lady doesn't even have
date night?
a job she needs to work.
We do. Yeah, she's not just living for the weekend. Yeah. She is. She's
for
the moment.
Week. She's living for the day.
We went to night market on a Tuesday. Yeah. Jamie Foxx was there. Yeah. I don't know if you've heard of him.
I don't think Jamie Foxx was there on a Friday.
No, Jamie Foxx had better things to do on a Friday. Yeah. Hey, do you want to dive into some questions?
Yeah, let's dive into some questions.
This week
That's what I was looking at my phone for. I got some questions.
This week it was Delman's turn. He went on Instagram and got some pretty good ones, I think, right?
I hope so.
I hope so.
All right, so we're gonna go into the photos here.
Oh my God! No one needs to know any of this.
Take an old screenie.
I don't think anyone needs to know, and no one calls it a screen. All
right, so we're gonna start out pretty. I mean, obviously, I picked these questions. I favored them towards you.
You did? That's so nice.
Since we're midway through the season here. And this will come out. The Christmas season, and these will come out. People want to know, what are your favorite holiday movies? And I know you have a crazy list. Like literally, we hang out with people, and they'll bring it up, and you'll be like, "I have a list." Like I have a list of like all the beers I've ever drank. Yeah. And what I think of them. You have a list of all the Christmas movies you've ever seen.
Years ago, you would like get confused of which beers you'd had, and you'd get really into.
I fall for the artwork.
You fall for the artwork. That's okay. That's what they do it for.
That looks cool. And then I drink it. I'm like, I hate this, and you've hated it for 3 years. I'm like. I feel like
you've had that beer before you hate it. So you made a list of like all your favorite beers.
Yeah, so you made a list of all your favorite Christmas movies in order.
What I will say is
Has anything changed?
Things change all the time, every year, depending. There's things that I've recently realized on my favorite Christmas movies, Christmas list, is that I'll give things leeway because of nostalgia, and I'm like, then I'll watch it again and be like, oh, that's actually a pretty garbage movie. And
examples.
Let's see. A really good. Oh, you want to know the example? You're not gonna like it. Polar Express.
Why would I not like that?
Oh, I don't know. I assumed you.
The
I think it was a
audience.
royal you.
Yeah. I'm like, I don't even care about
Delman,
that movie.
You don't know this. Delman has a Polar Express tattoo. He's
Guys,
in love.
It's a Pulitzer Prize right there because that's what it won when it came out. And then that's the train right there. I don't talk about Tom Hanks. I don't talk about the movie. It's all the book for me.
Don't even show him where the conductor is. Okay, the top 10 are classics, though. The top 10, aren't gonna budge.
But we want to know Lee Newton's top 10 because you're the Christmas person.
You know what? You're right. Number 1 of all time, Muppet Christmas Carol. It's the love of my life. It's such a good adaptation. It's phenomenal. It is the best Christmas Carol adaptation. If you actually read Charles Dickens, it has so much amazing stuff in it. Not to mention the Muppets, because it's just so happy. It's got everything. It's got songs. It's got a Shakespearean trained actor, Michael Caine. It's got, he's a king. He's a god. And he's in it, and it's wonderful.
Do you think Mr. Dickens would watch that and be like, now that's what I wrote?
I think Mr. Dickens would be like, what the hell is a television?
Yeah. Can I get another beer, please? It's been 2 minutes.
That is my favorite.
Yeah.
We went to Europe. We went to England, and every pub that we went into, they were like, Charles Dickens drank here. And you're like, I think Charles Dickens drank everywhere.
Either he drank everywhere or there were 2 bars.
I think he was an alcoholic, is what I think.
And there's a good chance.
Every single pub was like, did you know Dickens drank here? And you're like,
I think
I
we're picking
believe
up
it.
on a theme here. I'm gonna rate these movies.
No, you don't get to do that.
I'm stepping in.
No, you don't get
I
to
love
do
the
it.
movie. Love it.
Oh my god.
The little like glass figurine woman ghost, the second one.
You don't like
is the
ghost.
scariest thing I've ever seen. And then they're like, we had to film her underwater. I'm like, yeah, that's horrifying, and it looks like it. It's a scary.
It's a really creepy puppet. That one in particular.
Even the one at the end should be the scariest one, but the one in the middle, that was like. But then at the end, normally I as a kid, I was like, but kind of have a crush on her. By the end,
you had a crush on the little
by the
ghost
end,
girl.
Yeah, it was like the same as like Tinkerbell.
Delman.
At first, you're like, "What is it?" But then by the end, I'm like, "Where you going, girl?"
I love Tinkerbell. She's a babe, and we can all agree.
Yeah,
I get it. Number 2, Home Alone, classic.
1 or 2,
solid. Number 1.
Okay, all right, that's fine.
Number 2
fine.
is.
It's fine. Keep going.
Everyone should know that Home Alone 2 is Delman's favorite Christmas movie.
I just think it's more fun. Like they really kind of found their footing.
You
they found their voice.
One. You can't have a 1 without a 2.
No, you're right.
You can't have a 2 without a 1.
Hey, you're right. I love Home Alone 1 and 2.
Okay.
I love them both. I think in Home Alone 1, they were a little meaner. Like Kevin was like, we just met this family, and they're already like very mean to him.
Cruel to Kevin.
And it's just like really weird. But I loved the movie. But then when the second one came out, I feel like that's when Kevin was like, this is my movie. Like the first movie, he's just like at his house and he's like, they forgot me. But the second one, he's like, we're going to New York.
You love the
They
bird
got the
lady.
Talk Boy. I still have my Talk Boy.
You still have your Talk Boy. You do.
Yeah, dude. And it was like, it was amazing. That whole movie was amazing.
It.
Yeah,
I get it. Yeah. It's
Duncan's
number 14.
Toy chest.
Okay, I understand. It's a good.
That's number 1 for me.
It's a solid sequel. It's a solid
That's number
sequel.
1 for me.
Okay, good. I'm glad. I have the curated list.
Yeah, but I'd like to put my list out there too.
It's only 1, and it's just Home Alone 2.
Home Alone 2. Any time of the year. It's just a movie for me.
Okay, number 3 is Elf. Obviously.
Yeah,
Number
movie.
4, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation because of nostalgia for me. 5, The Grinch, Jim Carrey version. Number 6 is a sleeper, and a lot of people haven't heard of it, and it's Just Friends. It was before Ryan Reynolds was like Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
It's when he was like
back when he was Ryan Reynolds.
Back when he was Ryan Reynolds and not like Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was like.
I think the movie's very funny. I think there's a lot of great things. If you saw it when it came out, I think it's fantastic. I think it's a bit problematic.
It might be
now,
a bit problematic now.
but
Sure, yeah.
just because of the prosthetics they use and
course.
kind of the vibe, but very relatable, very funny.
It's just one of the funniest ones I've seen in a minute.
Yeah.
And also I love the take on like
The B
Christmas
characters coming back.
I mean, B characters are
Anna
great.
Faris, hilarious.
Queen.
That one guy who
Chris
sings
Klein.
the song, Chris Klein.
Amazing.
Very funny.
It's just a really good, it's a cavalcade. It's really fun. I love it. It's a take on a Christmas movie that isn't swarmy and cheesy and ridiculous.
It's good.
And I love it.
Yep.
And technically it's a rom-com. Okay, now this one, it came out in the last 10 years. But it's fantastic. It's a Netflix movie called Klaus. It's an animated film, and it's great. And I think it's top tier, and it's amazing. And if you haven't seen it, watch it because it'll be an instant family classic.
You love that one.
8 is White Christmas. Number 9 is the Santa Claus.
That would be my second, I think, sadly.
Your list is only 2. It's Home Alone 2 and the Santa Claus.
I love the Santa Claus because, like, who didn't, like, I kind of was living that life. Sure. Like, I had, like, kind of a corporate upbringing. I just kind of dreamed that my dad would become Santa Claus and I could kind of go to the North Pole and meet Bernard and all the friends and have some hot cocoa. I know, so I loved it. I wanted it.
Okay, number 9, the Santa Claus. 10, the Family Stone. It's great.
Stressful.
It is stressful.
But good. Yeah, I get it.
Look, I'll just hammer through. 11, Arthur Christmas. 12, Scrooged. 13, Love Actually. 14, Home Alone 2. 15, The Holiday. 16, Die Hard. 17, It's a Wonderful Life. 18, Miracle on 34th Street. And 20 is The Family Man.
Nice.
And then there's a bunch more. There's 54. I have 54.
You're going to post a list. We'll
order.
hear what people say. They can go through it. We'll make a list.
I still stand that Muppet Christmas Carol holds up violently. It's perfection. It's my favorite.
I love that movie, and I think the reason I loved it is because Michael Caine was so good at the acting. Like, he really treated it.
That was what they said, is that he literally was like, I am going to, like, he's like, I'm not going to do a single wink. I'm not going to do a single nod to camera. I'm not going to treat it anything other than, like, as dead as a doornail serious. Like, he was like, I will be approaching this like I am doing
and I think that's
a play.
Really took it to the next
100%.
level. So that's your Christmas list.
That is my Christmas list.
All right. Mariah Ann 95 who asked us that. So thank you, Mariah _ Ann 95.
Delman reading it is my favorite. Mariah _ Ann 95.
Yeah, so she's either 95 or she was born in 95. But
or
based
she's
on the picture,
95th Mariah Ann.
Yeah. Dang it. I just
94?
missed it.
No, 95.
Yeah. From our friend Katie Joyce, also known as Vera _ Radley.
I love it.
If you had to be stuck, this is related to the last question.
Okay, I love it. I'm ready.
If you had to be stuck within the world of a Christmas movie, which would you pick? Whoa, this is changing things.
Look, I mean, it's very obviously going to be the Muppets.
And who would you play?
I don't know.
You're just there?
I don't know. A baker? I don't know. Yeah, I'd be like in the world of like the Muppet Christmas Carol. Dickensian time period is going to be rough on women because we're going to have like corsets and a bunch of stuff. So I don't even want to dive into that journey just because it's oppression and corsets and exhaustion. But I think I could be like a baker that makes a bunch of soup for people and stuff. That feels right for me.
But what, like the Swedish chef is just yelling at you?
Just burging.
No, but I feel like, I mean, there's so many Muppets and then Michael Caine and his, like, you would have to kind of like,
I would just be like there in the background and just being like,
and everyone's like, who she is? That's a like, human.
Hello. Yeah. Like Fred has family and friends. His nephew Fred has a bunch of friends that I would be like.
Yeah, but you'd have to be a Scrooge.
What?
He's like the humans, and everyone else is kind of like.
No, there's other humans in it. They mix them. Okay. They mix and match all of them.
So it'd be Muppet Christmas.
Yeah, it'd be like a Muppet Christmas Carol. But also, I do think there'd probably be a pick. Like, am I gonna date a Muppet? Probably. Like, yeah, I'd date a Muppet.
Which Muppet are you gonna date?
Probably Fozzie Bear because he's like cute and he's got a really funny personality and stuff.
I feel like you think I'm Fozzie.
I know you're a Fozzie. You're a Fozzie Bear of a man, 100%.
Nice.
That's the vibe.
Yeah,
that is absolutely your vibe. You are a Fozzie Bear man.
Yeah,
and that you're funny. You're waka waka.
Yeah.
Like you got the curly hair.
Yeah.
You got the good attitude.
Yeah.
But yeah, if I'm in that world, that is the pickle. Is that like, am I gonna be starting to date Muppets? Is there like,
Yeah.
Yeah, and I will.
All right.
Muppet Christmas Carol without a hesitation.
So for me, what world would I live in? I guess it would be the Santa Claus.
Yeah.
And I would push Tim Allen off the roof.
Delman, no.
I want to take it. I want to be the Santa.
You want to be the Santa Claus?
Yeah, I'd be like, get out of here. I signed the contract.
Oh my God, that's going to be Santa Claus 8. And then it's just like you.
Is this a competition at that? They're trying to kill each other.
Everyone's like, we didn't think there'd be a hit out on him just because some guy wanted.
I want to be Santa Claus.
Me. I'm gonna be honest. I have not seen the 2 and the 3.
No.
Santa Clauses, especially with the Jack Frost Martin Short character, where it just kind of goes bonkers.
Yeah.
So I don't know. No. It could. There
but
could
I
be
love
character.
the idea that
I think it's
like
perfect
a
for
fight
you.
to be the Santa.
Do you have any favorite cheese of the week?
Right now, I think a good Romano. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
We've been having a lot of Romano. I get it. Yeah. I've been diving into this truffle cheddar.
Oh, yeah.
It's been really delicious. It's a delicious white truffle cheddar. And I think if you have the opportunity, please dive in. This will be the eve of Christmas Eve is when this is going to air.
That's not a thing that people
there's
about.
Christmas Eve, and then there's the eve of Christmas Eve, and there's the eve of Christmas Eve, and that would be when the eve of Christmas Eve, or the eve of Christmas Eve, the eve of the eve of the eve of Christmas Eve.
Got it. Caught up.
Look, this year feels different. It feels like it's rushing by. It's going too fast.
That.
I was wondering if it is like a zeitgeist thing. If everyone is being like, "Hey, where's?" It feels like. I mean, I don't want to Cindy Lou Who it, but I feel like I'm like, "Where are you, Christmas?" You know what I mean?
Well, you've been singing that every day.
I have been singing it. Delman's over it. I've been like, "Where are you, Christmas?" It's going by too fast.
Yeah.
It's sad.
Well, we're catching up with our lives again.
Look, it's breaking my heart. Next year, I'm going to have a party every weekend. Yeah. It's going to be a powerhouse.
Yeah, it'll be nice.
We're going to have different nights and different themes.
Yeah.
I'm ready to do it.
Let's do it.
Anyways, Merry Eve of Christmas Eve.
Yes.
And happy 4th day of Hanukkah.
Yes. Well, yes. And thank you so much for watching and commenting and leaving questions and listening and all that. And we're going to keep going.
I'm excited.
And we're going to keep having fun. And you guys are great.
Yeah. And if you guys, if you guys want to write a story about hot mailman entering the zeitgeist of our world, please do.
Yeah. And I guess we're hosting Jeremy Renner for Christmas.
God, that was so weird. She did. She just announced. She was like, by the way,
he's coming over.
He's coming over. Jeremy is coming over on Christmas Eve because we want to be together.
So you better have a ham because he demands it. It's in his rider.
Jeremy Renner demands a ham.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
All right.
Bye.